Just shout out, where do you think the next big text giant is going to be born out of? Just shout out. The honest truth is that majority of us, if we had to put our money on something, would say Silicon Valley. But I have a different theory. I don't think that the next big tech giant is going to come out of the Silicon Valley. But I think it's going to rise from basically what we consider home, UAE. And there's a reason to it. It's not the capital. The money has existed at many places, and in many other countries it's there in more abundance. It's not technology. We have had technology for quite a while now. So what is it different about UAE that makes me believe that we are going to have the next big tech giant born out of here, rise from the desert? It's this vision, right? We have a very clear vision to succeed and be a leader in building unicorns. And when you think about it, we don't want to just lead. As our leadership have clearly stipulated, we want to win. We want to be number one. We want to smash it, right? So when you take into account what's happening, and in the middle of it all is the passion which drives each and every one of us to do what we do, is what creates value. So I'll give you an example of a friend. I met him in 2010, and he was a simple bloke, couldn't speak very clearly, did not definitely have the confidence that a lot of you have pitching your ideas here today. And I happened to be talking to him about what he is doing and what's his business idea. And he couldn't really use the right words in explaining it to me. It was something to do with, the words were something to do with payment processing, right? So I was like, okay, sounds a bit tacky and boring, but then I realized it wasn't about the words. It was what he meant. It was what was the value underneath of those words. He had the right purpose. He was able to portray to me what happens when his payment processing application goes live. And I mean, I'm not going to name it, but today many of us have actually used his payment processing sitting here in the UAE, and he is processing millions per day. And this is someone who couldn't even convey his idea properly, right? So the trick is to focus on the why. And why UAE? I mean, if you look at it, we have national strategies of AI, fintech, sustainable energy. We're no longer just thinking and talking about smart cities, we're actually building them, right? And if you look at it, we have access to some of the most amazing talent. I mean, just looking at this room here in front of me, I can feel so confident that the future generations are in safe hands, because ultimately it's this talent that leads. So why are startups failing in the UAE? 7 out of 10 businesses shut down in the first 6 months, guys. 7 out of 10 in the first 6 months. 9 out of 10 businesses fail within the first year. There's only 1 out of 10 business that actually makes it to the second year. We have the vision and the passion and the capital and the technology, and yet we are failing. Why? The reality is that somewhere we are chasing the fashion, we are chasing the fad, we are chasing the hype rather than chasing the value. We need to stop building for hype. We need to start building for value if we want to truly succeed. It's not about the capital itself. right? Some people are raising too much money too fast or too little money too late. They hire too many people all at once. Many a times they don't hire enough people because they're trying to save some pennies. Sometimes they get the timing wrong. But in my opinion, what's happening completely wrong is the lack of clarity, the lack of purpose, and the lack of why. That's what's broken in the system. We shouldn't be building businesses for the sake of chasing fashion. We should be building businesses for the sake of solving real life problems and creating real value while we are at it. So how do you go about building with purpose, right? I mean, obviously, I'm sure your business faculties and the teachers out there are going to give you in detail theoretical examples and case studies of what's going to happen and give you some proper training. But there are three things that I want to leave you with that are critical, especially in my experience, having created over about 120 plus businesses out here in the UAE with an active portfolio of 35 businesses. So that means I have failed more than I have succeeded, but what matters is my run rate of winning. And that's why I'm able to be in front of you, because I don't give up from the failures, because I have processified what seed to scale means. Number one, raise with purpose. A lot of you in this room have come in with a business idea. If I offered you a check of 100,000 right now, would you take it? You lost the point. Do not jump at the first person offering you money. Do not sell your soul to the devil. Be careful what you wish for. It is about raising money with a purpose. You need to look for strategic investment. Partner with those, seek funds from those that believe in you, not those that are going to fight your purpose. They're going to take it away from why you started that business to making it all about making money. Raise money from strategic investors. Number two, build systems. Yes, a lot of you may find these things boring, but boring makes money. If you don't have a process of running your business, you will fail by the time you scale to 3 employees. Or if you have been able to figure it out for 3 people, you will fail when you scale it to 10 people. Forget about reaching 100 employees. If you do not have a process, your CRM systems, your tools, your documents, all that stuff that you think is boring is vital, is critical. It is not a good to have, it is a need to have. And finally, something that's going to be more relatable to what we are doing here today. Tell a story that bleeds. Do not sell features. Sell a story that matters. Tell the investors why are you the person who has come up with that vision. Bring out the wounds, bring out the problems that you're trying to solve and resolve before you talk about the money and the features. Because when you do this, you're not attracting investors. You are creating a movement. I mean, I'll give you one more example and I'm going to leave the floor very shortly, but there was a friend, again, a couple of years ago, happened to be talking to me. I was mentoring him, great visionary, had great ideas, had already built an app by the time he came talking to me. And he comes in front of me after 3 failed rounds of raising funds. And he started with his investment pitch to me. And I happened to be going through it. And he's talking about these amazing features and feature after feature and feature after feature and feature after feature. And then there were the numbers. And I asked him one thing. one simple question. What would happen if this business idea did not see daylight? What would happen if this business idea did not see the daylight, if it did not come to life? And his response was, millions of people would not have access to credit. Their business ideas would stay in the shadows if my product does not come to market. And I said, great, make that the first sentence on your investment pitch. And within 1 month of him changing his investment pitch, he was able to raise $150 million. One sentence, start with why. Listen, you guys are going to do amazing things, and we're going to sit here and hear a lot of you out. But don't get carried away with what you see on social media. You see the output. You see the end result. Don't get carried away with the glitz and the glamour. Focus on not building for valuation. Focus on building for value. When you build for value, valuation comes in the form of investors like me to you. Good luck. Thank you.